Welcome to the Carolinian Forest Backyard Garden Tour, Zone 5B for February. And today, instead of just wandering around the yard and showing you the snow and all the plants that are asleep, I thought I would talk about the importance of 5, maybe 6 of the trees that I've planted on my property. This is my Gingo tree. Now in the summertime, when the leaves are on there, they're a beautiful green color and they're shaped like hearts. And this tree is about 5 years old, and it will get quite big and very beautiful and has such great lines to it. But it is famous for antioxidant support, inflammation support, circulation support, dementia support, and stress anxiety support. So look for ginkgo tea in your health food store. Tree number 2 is the weeping mulberry. Remember, this is a male, and therefore it doesn't get any berries, but it does have leaves, and the leaves are big and they're green and they come right down to the driveway in approximately July, August. I did give it a brush cut, and I did cut a big branch off. It's been there for 20 years. And if you want to make tea out of the leaves of that, you'll get your cholesterol lowered, your blood sugar will be under control, it'll decrease your stress, it'll fight any cancer that's trying to get you, and the inflammations that you have will disappear. But you got to get the leaves in a tea, and you got to get it from a health food or a doctor or somebody like that, healthcare worker. Okay, weeping mulberry. You got it. This is the weeping pine. And pine trees, white pine trees, will help you with any ailment that you have if you come out and stand near one for a few minutes a week. You don't have to touch it, just be close to it. You might want to stroke it because they're beautiful. But mine's a weeping white pine. So if you haven't got one of these, plant it. And if you want to drink the white pine tea, it'll be really, really, really beneficial in every way you can possibly think of. So the white pine tree, that's my favorite. Get the white pine tea, or at least the tree, plant the tree. It's a sunny day today, shining down on the tamarack tree on my front lawn. Yes, and the tamarack, or the larch tree, aren't exactly the same thing, but they're in the same family and they're very closely related. But the tamarack tree, it will grow where the soil's not so good. Like if it was sandy, or if it wasn't just particularly rich topsoil, it would grow. And it grows really big. And there's different kinds, and some of them don't grow so big. But they were used by the natives for medicinal purposes long, long time ago, 1600s in this part of the world. And they've been used to build ships and all kinds of things like toboggans. And they even were used to make those goose collars. You know, if you were going to go out and hunt for geese and you wanted to call the geese, well, they would use the tamarack twigs to create one of those. So the tamarack, or the larch tree, used to be my favorite, pretty close to almost being my favorite, but the pine tree took over. This is the weeping cedar tree, and you can see how tall it is as the branches swoop up and the needles hang down. They have berries on them. They have a very shallow root system, but the weeping cedar, wow, is used by people that want to break the wind and protect their gardens from wind. And so therefore they prevent erosion of soil. But if you drink the weeping cedar tea, you'll improve your skin. It might even help with eczema or psoriasis. And if you have any kind of respiratory ailment, given that we've got COVID around now, this would be the tea that you would want to buy. It purifies, it represents purification. But the root system is very shallow, and you got to be careful, because in a hurricane or a tornado, it might just pick this thing up and throw it around your yard. But a beautiful, beautiful purity tree. The white birch tree, it has been thinned. It had more branches than this coming out of the root base. But I was thinking that maybe it was a little bit too close to my house, so I had them removed. But the tree is growing tall and straight, and it looks really healthy, and you can tell by the birch bark. But it's used, the tea is used to clean out your system. It's a diuretic. It'll help with urinary tract infections. If you have achy joints, like any kind of maybe arthritis, this would be the tea to drink. And again, skin rashes, kind of like the weeping cedar over there. It will help with skin rashes. And I think that they use parts of this tree to make aspirin. So it's an anti-inflammatory too. But the birch tree, the natives that lived here in the 1600s used the birch tree for lots of things. This is my red maple, or red cut leaf maple, but it's a red one. And it's difficult to sort it out from all the other trees that are around it. There's some spruce trees behind it, but it's this thing here with no leaves on it. There's the bottom of it. Right, I'll just walk around so you can see it from different angles. It's very ornamental looking, and it loves sun but partial shade. And it likes to get pretty big and spread out, so give it some room. But it's going to help you if you drink the tea. Red maple tea, it'll help you with your blood sugar again, any cancer in your system, inflammation, digestion. But it's great for electrolytes if you get dehydrated because you are maybe old, or maybe you work too hard at exercising, or you're in a hot climate. This would be the tea to drink for electrolyte buildup. So the red maple. And the last tree, or bush, some people call it a tree, some people call it a bush. It's a serviceberry. And there it is. This is another miniature red cutleaf maple, but this is the serviceberry. There's another white pine, but this is the serviceberry, the thing with no leaves on it. Nice smooth bark. It's got a few ornaments hanging in it. That tea will help you with your manganese levels in your system, your magnesium levels, your iron, your calcium, your potassium, your copper, and it has some carotenoids, pigments that are in there that will help you with antioxidant support. The birds love it. They can eat the berries all year round when there's berries on there. And it's a very clean tree or bush. So you can prune it to look like a bush, or let it grow like I have, and it becomes a tree eventually. Slow growing, but a beautiful addition to your backyard garden. So that's it. I'll just do one little 360 here. So you can see there's another larch tree, another spruce tree, lots of cedars along the back. Yep. Of course, we've got the smoke bush here, or tree, which I didn't talk about, and all the bird feeders on poles and up by the windows. And my wife even put out some peanuts and some walnuts for the squirrels right there on the deck. This is the February backyard garden tour, Carolinian Forest, Southern Ontario, February 21.